Good afternoon and welcome to our weekly review show where we get to discuss some of the significant issues of the week. And of course, it has been a historic week. We've seen the President, William Ruto, dissolving his cabinet, this being the second time that the President has been forced to dissolve his cabinet. The first time was in 2005 when President, the late Mwai Kibaki, dissolved his government due to the failed referendum. And of course, there has been a series of changes. Remember that the Inspector General of Police also resigned, and this is after the series of protests that has been seen all over the country by the young people, popularly known as Gen Z. And I have one of them in studio, Calista Zumondi, who I'm going to engage on various issues. Remember, you can engage us on our social media platforms at Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at Kabete Poli TV. Well, Callistus, to start us off, for a long time, the protest, in fact, you also say that tomorrow you'll be going out for the protest.
Tomorrow, very early in the morning, we'll be out for man.
First of all, you started by saying that you want the president to reject the finance bill. Indeed, he did that. Secondly, your issue was about the dissolvement of the cabinet. He has done that. So what's your agenda? What do you want now this time?
So tomorrow, the first thing, we want the former Inspector General of Police, Japheth Koome, to be held accountable for the lives that were lost. Remember the pipeline massacre. So the massacre is like the second version of Shakahola. So we would want the president, or rather we want Japheth Koome to be held responsible for that. Then tomorrow we are also on the streets. We want the Linda Mama program to be brought back on board. Then we also want the government to incorporate the Gen Zs during the selection of the new cabinet secretaries.
And of course, for a long time in the political space in Kenya, this cabinet position has been about political rewardees. The people who helped the president to ascend to power, the ones who are rewarded for this position. In terms of inclusivity and competency, what should be the most important? I remember over the weekend, the president gave a glimpse of what will be of his new government. He said it is going to be inclusive. But what's important, inclusivity or competence?
So this time we're doing things differently. First of all, we don't expect someone who did education to be the Minister for Health. That one is not logical. So the first thing we would want the president to choose someone who has knowledge on a particular field. Let's say you are a doctor. Then that one should be one of the qualifications of being the Minister for Health. So first of all, you should select those who are well versed in a particular field or particular area. Then secondly, we want the president to involve the Gen Zs. Yeah. So those are the two pillars that we would want the president to put into consideration while selecting the next cabinet.
And what about this dialogue that is supposed to start today? The president gave an issuance of long dialogue and different stakeholders are being involved. Are you not going to be part of that dialogue?
We will not be part of the dialogue. Remember what Odhiambo said, the president of LSK.
Yes.
He told the president of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Ruto, to do things in accordance with the constitution. So if at all the dialogue is constitutionally correct or it is allowed by the constitution, then maybe we can give it a second thought. But this time, he must do as we say. Remember the first time we wanted him to do away with the cabinet secretaries, of which he did. And the same time, we wanted him to do away with the finance bill. He actually did that, but there are still questions. Like the finance bill raises some eyebrows. He came up with this committee that will try to edit the finance bill. And that one is constitutionally wrong. So we can't forget that. So we won't be dismayed. We are very firm. And we know this time we are going to do things our own way.
And of course, there has been this joke on the social media platform. The Gen Zs, their leader. Do you have a leader? Or how are you mobilizing yourself? Because you have been a very powerful force to this country.
Remember last time Babu Wino said, and actually said the leader of the Gen Zs. President William Ruto is the leader of the Gen Zs.
How?
The way Babu Wino said it. If President William Ruto did things, like if he's that person who can bend to our demands and maybe do away with the pride or ego. If at all he had addressed these issues when we began this, it began like a joke when we began it on the social media, like on X. So if at all he could have reacted, then right now we wouldn't have lost their lives. So President Ruto is the leader of the Gen Zs. The moment he'll start doing things the way we want, then we'll bend low and forget about the demons and everything.
Yeah, in fact, he has also reintroduced Kazi Mtaani for the young people.
We don't need Kazi Mtaani.
It's a project for the young people. Do you think it will be useful perhaps to...
Yes, it's a project to the young people. But remember the last time Waiguru. Actually, Kazi Mtaani is just a project of maybe let me say a project of soliciting money from the government. Like it gives the rich. Remember the last time Waiguru, the scandal of NYS scandal. Remember what happened? I know you know. So we don't want, and if he has to reintroduce the Kazi Mtaani, then let it be led by a Gen Z. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your comment. And of course, just to read some of the comments of our viewers, I can say Zuena Nifa from Huisero constituency, who says that leaders should be chosen on the basis of competency rather than political rewards. I can also see Kimberly Ngesa from N Market, who is saying that the finance bill and the cabinet secretaries should not be returned back who are stealing people's money. And lastly, I can also see Simon Simpai from Narok, who says, Anguka nayo. Well, just lastly, as we wind up, Callistus, can give you a minute as you wind up.
Okay, I would like...
Just a minute as we wind up. What do you think that the Gen Zs should do to mobilize themselves and their issues so that they can be listened in means of dialogue? Or is protest the only solution?
Yeah, protest is the only solution. We don't want dialogue. Then I would like to inform all the Gen Zs. Remember, we said you are tribalized. So if at all you are Callistus Omondi, then you will drop your second name and remain Callistus. If you are James Mashera, you will drop your second name. We are tribalized. And I would like to inform all the Gen Zs, all the comrades, tomorrow being a Tuesday, let's meet at the CBD. We have to occupy the CBD. I know there are some institutions doing the exams. The exams are important, but the future of Kenya is more important. So tomorrow, very early in the morning, let's meet at the CBD. Zakayo must go down. #Ruto must go. #Anguka nayo.
Well, that has been our conversation for today, our weekly review. That has been my guest, Callistus Omondi, who is a member of the Gen Z. Remember, we can extend our conversation on our social media platforms. Thank you very much for joining us. Until next time, do enjoy yourself and keep safe.